lifted up Scotch with me friends and never travelled far. I am a Barnsley lass, you know, and I said and that. I was grown up when I was 10. I learned how to read and write me send. We say thou what? How much? Hush for I think it's double Dutch. I wore me sisters and me downs. I could make the kettle boil. I chopped the sticks and lit the fire and carried coil from coil oil. I am a Barnsley lass, you know, and I said and that. At the age of 20, the bands did wind, same old nappies on the line. It were hard to wash out all the grime, and the clothes get thinner all the time. And the sound of the marching clogs rang out up the backs and down the street. And all them tins of mantelpiece, it were hard to make things neat. I am a Barnsley lass, you know, I can't stay glad-y-da. I learned how to cook and clean and sew, and I said and that. I laked out up Scotch with me friends and never travelled far. I am a Barnsley lass, I knows, and I said and that. At the age of 40, time does fly. Loads changed, I wonder why. Grandkids, bands, they laugh and whine. Same old nappies on the line. And the old folks, they are gone now. And to me, it's such a shame. And the streets come down in Todo Town, it just don't look the same. I am a Barnsley lass, that knows, I can't speak la-di-da. I learned how to cook and clean and sew, and I said and that. I laked out up Scotch with me friends and never travelled far. I am a Barnsley lass, I knows, and I said and that. I'll teach thee the and that.
Finally tonight, the traffic policeman who became famous in Barnsley after decades of directing traffic through the town.
Bill Harber, who has died aged 86, will be remembered fondly by many. He was known for his distinctive handlebar moustache and even featured in a song about a useless roundabout. Phil Bodmer has more.
He was a familiar sight on the streets of Barnsley in an era when policemen, rather than lights, controlled the traffic. PC Harber's handlebar moustache and friendly nature earned him widespread respect among local people.
I'd like to get me hands upon that fart. Oh, don't, that stair foot roundabout.
Local entertainer and musician Dave Cherry remembered Bill directing traffic from his boyhood and included him in a song about Barnsley's infamous Starefoot roundabout.
Bobby Bill at New Street, the queues he'd save. If he saw that Starefoot, he'd turn in his grave.
But Bill, being very much alive, spotted Dave in a local pub one evening.
This military figure come to me. He says, "Are there that Dave Cherry?" I says, "Yes." He says, "Well, I'm Bill Harber and I'm not dead." So that were it.
The song and film raised almost £25,000 for a local hospice, helped by a popular policeman who will be long remembered by those who knew him.
Wow, what a super guy.
Yeah. Right, so the film starts here at bottom of Market Hill. And don't forget, this film was done in 1970, and that's transitioned into modern day. That's Mayday Green, filmed from a bus.
Ford Anglia, the old.
Ford Anglia, is it?
Yeah, that's the Ford Anglia, mate.
Here we go. Worsborough Common bus, number 6.
Number 6.
And opposite, what famous Thripney Beat coming up. Took me years to get a photo of this place. This is what Meeting Up place, wasn't it, of course? Meeting Up place for boy meets girl, Thripney Beat.
You know where it is now, though, don't you?
And that's a photo. And now then.
Food market.
Yeah, but look at that advert there, the boyfriend. Yeah. I think that was a Russell. What do they call that fella, Russell? Who made films in them days, 1970, 71. And that's transitioning today, look.
That's where it was.
Yeah, this Falco coffee. Library, innit? Library.
Falco Lounge.
Yeah, but library's there, look. That was old fish market.
Yeah.
Now then,
Joe Edwards.
Joe Edwards, famous character. That's him, look. Long sequences. It's a famous character.
Old man.
He used to juggle plays, didn't he? He was a showman, this fella, wasn't he?
In the public hall at Barnsley, the children went to view the animated pictures as children love to do. 500 little children, and maybe many more, with hearts brimful of pleasure, they left their father's door. Gave each a penny, the Sunday best they wore, and some were 6, and some were 5, and some were only 4. Arriving at the hall, they found the gallery full, and then those up above the stairs began to push or pull. Go back, a small voice said. They turned back with a rush, and 16 little children were killed amid the crush.
Hey, look, Dave, I found it. I found the stone what we've been looking for.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Go on, what?
Charlotte, the beloved daughter of Frank Emily Norton, who was accidentally killed at the public hall disaster, January 11th, 1908, age 6, I believe. 6 years of age, yeah, 6 years.
And where did she live? Where, this little lass?
She lived at Cope Street, 17 Cope Street.
Ah, well, not far, is
That's a stone throw away from here, Dave, that.
So it's roughly up there, 300 yards.
Yeah.
So, she lived up there at Cope Street, and she's buried here.
Yeah.
7-year-old lass.
Poor lass.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Charlotte Norton. Keep going, Cork, it's up there. 17 Cope Street, Charlotte Norton. That brown door there.
Yeah, that's it.
That brown door there, that's where she lived, that little girl. And again, we only, there's crow flies 300 or 400 yards away from the cemetery where she was buried. Charlotte Norton.
Now, in Greek mythology, Atlas was the god that held up the sky. Did you know that?
Of course.
Well, in Yorkshire, he was used to adorn the old Barnsley Alhambra Theatre.
But after the theatre was demolished in 1982, the Titan was thought lost forever Until that is, one intrepid historian decided to unearth his whereabouts. Shirley Henry takes up the story.
The iconic Alhambra Theatre in Barnsley. One of its focal points was this statue of the Greek titan Atlas. When the theatre was demolished in 1982, it was thought the Atlas was lost too. But hidden in a shed in Barnsley, a passionate local historian embarked on a voyage of discovery.
Amazing, amazing. We all used to stand under this thing, you know, queuing for the Saturday matinee when we were all kids. You know, and all the courting couples used to look up at it. Everybody were wondering in Barnsley, what a lovely, this big feature, this big 9-ton titan Greek god. What's happened to it?
Up until 1982, this is where Barnsley's Alhambra Theatre stood. It's now been replaced by the town's main shopping centre, and many locals thought the Greek statue had been lost forever. Well, that's until now. It's taken nearly 40 years, but last week, Dave tracked it down to a suburban garden in Wakefield. It had been saved from demolition by a businessman.
I called on the side. I said, what are you going to do with the figure? And they said, we're going to break it up. And I said, oh, blimey, don't do that. I said, it's magnificent.
We built a piece for him, then I painted his face. We built his nose up, put him 2 eyes in, because I put marbles in for his eyes, and because I like him to be able to see.
Sadly, Atlas was damaged in their garden. Its head is all that remains. It's hoped one day the sculpture will take pride of place back in Barnsley town centre. Shirley Henry, BBC Look North, Barnsley.
He's a handsome chap, isn't he?
Yeah, fine looking specimen if ever there was one.
Right, Wayne, this is the Woodhead tunnel this year.
Right, yeah.
3 tunnels. One here, 1839, 1845, and that was the most modern, 1954. Now then, the tunnel is 3 mile, 30 yards long. The station Woodhead is roughly there. This is the western portal of the Woodhead tunnel. So this is my hometown of Barnsley, and this is the Broadway Junction, and this is the Penny Pie Park, which sadly won't be here much longer. We're trying to find a disaster area. A Second World War bomber crashed somewhere here, Cresswell Street. We're just trying to find it in January 1942. It was a Whitley bomber, and somehow or another it were all hushed up for the duration of the war. But anyhow, let's try and find this Cresswell Street.
Jettisoned the bombs, it got lower and lower and lower. They decided they tried to restart the engine, and that caught fire.
Right.
It got lower and lower, and it came down Broadway. 3 bailed out on Broadway.
We've come to see this lovely lady, Jean Naylor. Jean, can you tell us what you remembered about that morning, that day when this bomber crashed?
Yes. I was 10 years old.
Right.
I lived at the bottom house on Stocks Lane.
Stocks Lane?
Stocks Lane, just down the road there.
Yeah.
And I heard that there was a plane that crashed. And I thought it was German, so
Right.
I thought I'll get up and get a bit.
Yeah.
So I ran all the way up from bottom of Stocks Lane to the wreck. And when I got to the wreck, they wouldn't let me get anywhere near it because the police had surrounded it.
Right.
And it was British.
Yeah.
I found out later.
Mm.
And so they wouldn't let anybody near. And the sad thing was, that it was 2 young men who died, 19 and 20, am I right?
22-year-old one
Yes.
of them, the pilot.
And one was Australian and one was
Canadian.
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 Yeah. And it was so sad.
Well, this is the M1 north towards Barnsley, and we're just coming up to what is a huge distribution centre on the site of the Rockingham Colliery site. Dave, tell us about this.
Right, on the right hand side, you're coming up to it, it's a great big structure, Hermes distribution centre. As quite correct, it's built on old mining land at Rockingham. This is the turn off to Manchester, we're passing on the left, but the actual site is over these trees here. Now, as you can see on the skyline there, that's 2,200 houses here. This is like Platt's Common, if you like.
Yeah.
But the houses are going to be on this hill here.
Yeah, that's probably the bund against the noise, isn't it?
Yeah. The roadworks here, they're building a roundabout.
So go into the housing complex.
That must have not been planned originally, this roundabout here.
The train had previously traversed the Wath to Penistone route, normally freight only, and is seen near Silkstone.
Right, so when where that tree is there, that were roughly signal box, and line went through there, through that bit there. Yep. So that bloke shooting actual railway crossing gates, he starts there, shuts them there, and train comes this way. Right.
This is Barnsley's history, showcased for the very first time. Collected by the town's own people, every piece, paper and picture tells a story.
Oh, it's marvellous. When you see them for the first time, it brings it to life.
Dave has been copying old cine films onto DVDs for people to watch in the museum. From the coronation of George VI to market scenes 50 years ago, Barnsley's history has come alive.
You know, you get people saying, oh, look at that shop, it's marvellous. It just brings it better than photos, you know. It's an actual living history, living proof.
I liked an upscotch with my friends and never travelled far. I am a Barnsley lass, you know, and I said and that. I was grown up when I was 10. I learned how to read and write me send. We say that.